かけてみようか打ち取られた奇跡から充満してく術を挑戦のオーバータイム導くジェニュアなノウハウ熱く燃えたぎる鼓動を破裂しても
Hi everybody, this is Kevin, and welcome back to another anime review. And today, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on Eden Zero Episode 30, which is the episode all of us manga readers have been waiting for, and let me say, it did not disappoint. A very faithful adaptation to the source material, and I can't wait to talk about it. So, quick little recap, of course. Our heroes are in very bad situations. In fact, they pretty much lost all their battles. We had Weiss, who was shot by Phi of the element of fire, and is pretty much on his deathbed unless he gets the medicine. Rebecca was supposed to bring the medicine to him, but was ambushed by Clean, later on captured and turned over to Draken Joe, and now being looked after by Daichi of the element 4. So, the medicine is now in the hands of Homura and Shiki, and we had Shiki battle against Jin, which is revealed Jin is the older brother of Clean, and then Clean battle against Homura, where the episode ends with Clean taking away all of Homura's clothes using her wind ether gear. So, of course, Mashua manga series, you gotta have the Mashua fan service. So the episode starts with Homura running in her undies with the medicine shielding her boobs, and she makes her way to the strip club we saw early on in the season, gets a nice Mashua fan service outfit, and starts battling Clean, although she quickly loses and is absorbed by the wind ether gear, and then Clean takes away the medicine that was supposed to go to Weiss. Then it shows Daichi, who was, looking after Rebecca, and he used his earth ether gear to restrain her, and there were, like, these roots growing out of her arm. She was held up like that, and the roots were, holding her still. And he decides that he's done with his 60 days of no torture. He breaks his coin, does this funky dance where he says the torture ban has been lifted, and he has the roots in Rebecca's arms go deeper and deeper. You see them, like, every part of her body. She lets out this horrible scream. The voice acting is just fantastic in this episode, with all the gut-wrenching screams throughout. And then Laguna shows up and turns Rebecca into water, because while she's being tortured, it's so painful she starts crying, and, he has the water ether gear to do that. And he's like, what the hell are you doing? Draken Joe said to look after her, not torture her. And he's like, oh no, don't tell the boss. And similar to the last episode when he offered a chocolate for Rebecca, he takes out another chocolate and says, oh, Laguna, you want this chocolate? It's like, this guy's fucking crazy. So Shiki continues his battle against Jin. And remember, Jin said he's been powered up by 320%. So you gotta have the power levels in shonen manga series. And also says he's achieved overdrive, but as they continue battling, Draken Joe appears and stands between the two of them, showing how powerful he is in contrast, and is like, oh, you think that's overdrive? You haven't seen nothing yet. And he powers up a bit, sort of flexing on them, and that's that. He takes the two of them with him. It then cuts over to Seabeer, who is continuing to look after Weiss, and Phi of the Element 4 appears, says, what are you doing harboring criminals? And he shoots and kills Seabeard, and you see the blood spatter everywhere. It's a really gruesome scene. So a lot of deaths. So it cuts to Xiao Mei, of course, who is the narrator of this series, and she says, "Brace yourselves, viewers. It's about to get crazy." And then it shows them all lined up. We have we have Rebecca, Shiki, Homura, and Weiss all lined up. Draken Joe and his cronies laughing at them. And then he reveals that the Eden Zero has fallen as well, because, and then it shows Maria, who turns back to her, like, human slime form in a very, very sexy pose, and she's defeated Sister. There were those two other guys, Seth and Diego. The one was a skeleton robot, which, when he self-destructed, we thought the other guy died, but he was actually hiding, and the skeleton robot went into the Eden Zero network and turned off all the androids seizing control of the ship. So, Sister, Witch, Hermit, and Captain Connor are defeated. All the androids are dead. Captain Connor's still alive because Draken Joe doesn't like killing humans. At least that's what he says. And he further humiliates them, saying to Rebecca that he sold Happy and Pino to the scrap market and they've been destroyed. So, Rebecca starts crying. He's humiliating Homura by saying, "Oh, you're the daughter of Kurenai. She was a looker, but you might edge her out a little, so you'll make a lot of money for me," insinuating he's gonna pimp her out as a prostitute. Then Weiss lying there all lifeless. Rebecca pleads, give him the medicine. He's gonna die. Oh, this medicine. He takes the medicine, fucking destroys it, and then says, We're gonna send an example. Chop off Weiss's arm. And so Fee goes there, chops off his fucking arm. Before that, of course, you see like the anguished look in everyone's faces. And Weiss is passed out, by the way. And like you hear like, and the arm flying in the air, blood spattering everywhere. Weiss screaming, like the scream the voice actor had, just horrible, man. It was very difficult to watch. And then he passes out again. Draken Joe just starts laughing like, "Oh, pathetic. You guys are all pathetic." And then Shiki starts talking back. He gets shot in the leg. Again, Draken Joe is like, "You fools, your journey ends here." And, it's just a horrific scene. And then Shiki keeps trying to talk back. And what happens is Draken Joe, holding the gun, shoots and murders Shiki. Shoots him right through the head. And that's it, man. And then again, our characters all start crying some more. And that is what we think is the end of the Eden Zero crew. However, it does end with Xiao Mei, the narrator, once again talking to us, saying that, Shiki has died, but on the 7th day, ... carrying on for the next episode, episode 31. But I gotta say, man, I mean, watching this episode, of course, I read the manga. I've read further than all that's in the manga. But watching this episode again, really, really difficult watch. And when I first read the manga, I'm like, where's the story go from here? Is Shiki done? Are we gonna have a new main character? Like, what's the deal? Is Rebecca gonna be the main character? I mean, I don't know, man. So I'm curious as to what like first time viewers or readers thought of this scene, because I know I was shook the first time I saw it. But anyway, let's get to some screenshots now. Like I said, so much stuff to talk about, and even more to show with the screenshots. So we'll start with the lighter note, of course, where we had Homura being pursued by Clean, like I said, running around in her undies, and they're no slouch at the fan service, no slouch at all. So she's running around, makes her way to the strip club, gets her new outfit, and she's pretty proud of it. So I have this video of it so you can see, and very faithful to the manga. Bounce it all over the place, and woohoo, yeah. Wait, where's the sound effect? Do I have it somewhere? So we had that. And then this thing, what even is this? Saying, "Oh, you gotta get on stage." So she starts dancing out there at the poles. Clean shows up and, defeats her. Then it cuts over to Shiki getting his ass kicked by Jin. Oh yeah, cut to this son of a bitch too, Master Noah, who we saw in season 1, and everything is going according to my plan so far. More on him later. So yeah, you see how Rebecca's being restrained by the Earth Ether gear, and he has his 60-day torture-free Tortures Anonymous coin, and he decides to do a funky dance, lifting the torture band, and like you see the roots go deeper and deeper into her. Like, this is some fucked up shit, man, and the screams she had, really, really difficult to watch. And his voice acting too, like, "Oh, it's painful, it hurts, doesn't it?" Like, this fucked up guy, he's gonna get what's coming to him. And then Laguna says, "Don't do that. Oh, you want some chocolate?" So Homura continues, she's put up a fight, but no match. And is absorbed in the wind ether. Then it cuts over to Seabeer looking on as Weiss is trying to recover. But then Fi shows up, shoots him in the head, and you see the blood everywhere. Kills him. So Shiki is trying, he's close to overdrive too, but not quite yet. And starts fighting with Jin. And then Draken Joe appears, smacks them both down. And then shows them a taste of his overdrive. Again, not quite overdrive, but he's just flexing on him, saying, "Oh, you think you're strong? You ain't seen shit." So then Shiki tries one last attack, and he blocks him with ease, grinning. So it cuts to Xiao Mei again, just saying, "Brace yourself, audience." And you get this menacing look from Draken Joe. They're all lined up. Weiss is next to Homura, but he's passed out, lying down. And Rebecca is pleading to, give the medicine to Weiss. He's going to die. "Oh, this medicine?" He just breaks it. And the horror, the anguished look on her face. Shiki starts talking back, gets shot. Look at his face, like his eyes all fucked up. And he's like, you know, shut the fuck up or else I'll do worse. So Rebecca's crying. Again, this is where he insinuates he's going to turn Homura into his prostitute because she's the daughter of Kurenai, and Kurenai was a looker, and he's like, oh, you're even better looking than her at that age. So that's when he reveals that Happy and Pino were sold as scrap metal. And poor Rebecca. So as she's pleading, he's just asserting his dominance even more. Cut off his arm to Weiss. Stop! And Fi chops off Weiss's arm. And then again, the screams and the sound effects. Horrible, man. Horrible. And he starts screaming, crying, and then he passes out. And you get this bit of foreshadowing and development into Jin's character. As he's watching, like, everyone else is laughing and shit. And even Clean, she's standing there looking, like, kind of disgusted. And the look on his face, particularly of his eyes, he's like, fuck that shit. And he decides to leave, saying, I don't have fond memories of bodies being cut up. Of course, if you know about him, which you already said, he's an android. He's had his body cut up. But there's more to that story than is currently revealed right now. Just keep that in mind. So again, everyone's just watching. This asshole's fucking him up. And then he reveals that the whole Eden Zero has been captured. And we get this excellent scene of Maria, of course. And all the androids have been powered off. We have this guy who's captured Captain Connor. And then the skeleton robot. I forget. One of them is called Diego. One of them is called Seth. I forget which one's who. But, you know, this guy, he gets into the system. Takes everything under his control. And Draken Joe has won. So, Shiki's lying down. He's got his foot on Shiki's head. And they say, you know, it was fun. I'm glad to have met you. And then Shiki starts crying, I'll take you down someday. And then Masha had to throw this in here just to piss off all the people who get mad at this. But he says, I'll be your friend one day since you don't have any. Because the power of friendship, right? And this fucker, there won't be a someday. Your adventure ends here. And he fucking shoots him. He shoots him. Now, this scene in the manga is a bit more graphic. You see, like, the fucking hole through Shiki's head. But there's always sort of censorship going on with anime and manga. It's still a very gruesome scene. And as the gunshot fires, everything goes really quiet. Like, really terrific scene. You see the look on this fucker's face. And that's that. He's dead. So, that's that. Then we hear Xiaomei, Shiki has lost his life, but the episode ends the morning of the 7th day without Shiki. ... And then we'll see that from Rebecca's point of view next week. And I'm very curious to see how they're going to handle certain scenes there. But, yeah, good shit, good shit. I'm very happy of how they handled that episode in comparison to the manga. Very faithful adaptation, give or take a few things. And I can only imagine the first-time viewers and readers of the series, because my first time reading the manga, I'm like, goddamn, what's going to happen next? Volume 10, so... Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Everybody have a great day. Oh, and peace out.